Thank you, Heather. Jim Fairs is Humam's sponsor, and as such, he has the honor of actually introducing Humam today. So, Jim, over to you.
Thank you very much, Susan. I would like to present Humam as proof that I don't meet everybody in bars. A year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago now, we took out, we made some flyers and sent them out for our 90th anniversary. And one of the gems that came out of that was Humam. He's been with us now for, my goodness, well, you were inducted, I think, about a year ago now, if I'm not mistaken.
A year.
Yeah.
Almost a year.
Almost a year. And despite the fact that we've had the pandemic and we've only been able to see each other online most of the time, I have had the pleasure of seeing Humam in person fairly frequently. He's been coming out onto the Falaise Saint-Jacques tires and carry washing machines and then do that kind of thing. He was at our luncheon at Vago just before Christmas time. And the thing that really impressed me the first time I met Humam in person was that I had to look up so far to see his face. You don't see it on the screen here, everybody, but this is a big man, let me tell you. But a jolly one. He really has what I consider a really good attitude. Humam is a civil engineer and a general contractor. He works primarily in building construction buildings. He is originally, is it originally from Syria, Humam?
Born in Damascus, Syria.
Born in Damascus, but has lived throughout the Middle East, and he's worked around the world. He's traveled to many, many places. And as he puts it, he's been exposed to many different nationalities. As a member of the committee for the art auction, you start to learn about people when you're just 4 or 5 people in a room together, and it's interesting how the personalities come out. And I think that you're going to see that today with Humman Jabban. It's my pleasure, to have him as part of the club and to introduce him today to regale us with his story.
Thank you, Jim. Shall I start?
Yes,
Go ahead.
please, Humam. The screen is yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak today and inviting me to be a valued member of the Rotary Club of Westmount. My name is Humman Jabban. I was born and raised in Damascus, Syria, and I am the middle child in a family of 5 children, 4 boys, 1 girl. I am the father of identical twin boys who are both married adults. My hobbies consist of spending time with family, swimming, reading, and traveling. My father, who did not receive a formal education, began working at the age of 10 in order to support himself and learn a career. He worked for a well-known family in the textile industry, starting as an apprentice, working his way up to eventually become a partner business owner. He would buy fabric in bulk from Europe and sell throughout the Middle East. Growing up, my family of average middle class, life in Damascus during the 50s and 60s was very modern and enjoyable. I attended high school in Damascus, Syria. Upon graduation, I decided to attend the American University of Beirut, which is equivalent of Harvard or McGill nowadays. I was determined to go there. Hence began the journey that would fundamentally change the course of my life. I applied and I was accepted conditional to pass an English exam, which is called entrance exam at that time. Although I had good grades in math, physics, and chemistry, My problem was the English language. I spent 1 year learning English and got accepted into AV's English summer program, which was called at that time Orientation Program, which was divided into 5 sections. I was in the section E, being the lowest proficiency. At the end of the course, I had been studying 17 hours a day. I was the only student from section E to pass in the summer program, which allowed me to become a full-time student at the university. I graduated from AUB in summer of 1974 with a Bachelor's of Science in Civil Engineering. Upon graduation, I was chosen by a design office owned by one of my professors, where I built a good base in structural design and drafting. Within 1 year, because of the civil war in Lebanon, the entire office had relocated to Cairo, Egypt in 1975. For the same firm, in the summer of 1976, I traveled to Saudi Arabia as part of a team to establish a construction division. This was a second turning point in my life. Within 3 years, I was managing the company and had executed a number of small jobs. Furthermore, I established 2 ready-mix concrete batching plants, which was not popular at that time in Jeddah and Medina in Saudi Arabia. In 1979, I began working on my first large project, 250 rooms hotel in the holy city of Medina. The hotel consisted of 2 basements and 19 floors. The successful completion of this hotel really cemented my reputation in the market. I introduced using steel formwork for the first time in the city of Medina, and all material, aluminum, woodwork, marble, etc., other than the concrete and the concrete blocks, were imported from outside and has to be in accordance with the shop drawing and cutting list to fit. Every execution was according to the same shop drawing. I'm mentioning this because we used to order the material already made. The window manufactured in Italy has to come and be fit in the same as built, Anyway, by 1981, I was 49% shareholder in the company. I was one of the few foreigners to register my name as a foreign investor in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. At that time, the common practice is the Saudi partner, he has to have the majority ownership. That's why I could have only 49%. Due to unfortunate issues with my partner and the family, they have family feud, the slowdown in the construction industry at that time, I had to make the difficult decision of downsizing the company and end the partnership in 1987. Around the same time, through sheer chance and pure luck, one of my engineers came into the office and began telling me about a meeting he attended regarding immigrating to Canada and how he had applied. There would be another similar meeting with the Canadian immigration officer in Hyatt Regency Hotel in Jeddah within 2 weeks. Not wasting any time, I got to work within 2 weeks. I had prepared 2 files with all the requirements needed. I presented myself at the hotel where the officer was interviewing applicants. He already had scheduled appointments months in advance. Although I did not have an appointment, I took my chances and waited. As he was coming out of his first interview, I approached him and asked him if he could spare some time. He immediately replied, "I'm sorry, but I'm very busy and I have back-to-back interviews all day." At that point, I gave him my files and kindly asked him to review them at his convenience. I noticed my file open in, I waited in the lobby, hoping and praying I would have a chance. When he finished his second interview, he told me, "Don't go, wait for me. At the end of the day, he called me in. As I entered the room, I noticed my file open in front of him. He flipped through the file, all the pages, and kept saying, okay, okay, etc. As he was about to sign the approval of my application, he looked at me and asked me if I had been in Montreal. I said no. The officer then gave me the name and address of a lady that worked at the immigration office of Montreal. He instructed me to go to Montreal and meet with her and have her call me, to call him. Once it was done, he would be able to approve and process my application. Within 1 week, I was in Montreal with my family. I fell in love with the city from the moment I arrived. The following year, in 1988, my family and I were in Montreal. I had established a construction company and became certified as a general contractor for housing, commercial, and residential high-rise building and industrial class 1 and 2. I purchased land in Bellefeuille, Mont Saint-Thérèse, and established a real estate development company. Later, I got approval of subdividing the land into 64 lots, 1-acre lots, conditional to give the city of Bellefeuille the right for bicycle path, as well as 3 parks totaling 6 acres. By 1995, as a result of the referendum, Montreal had lost many businesses. Most of them moved to Toronto. At that point in time, I decided to go back to Saudi Arabia. Due to this decision, I did not register the subdivision and I closed the construction company. I went back to Saudi Arabia and founded International Building System Company for construction, which over the past 25 years grew to become a turnkey multi-million-dollar commercial construction company specializing in high-rise building based in Saudi Arabia. Throughout this period, my company was able to successfully complete over 200 government and private sector projects and became one of the premier contracting firms in the Western region. As an experienced and motivated entrepreneur, my career developed due to my love and passion for my work, which I have been fortunate enough to enjoy doing every day throughout my professional career. At the end of 2015, due to low prices, a huge budget deficit, many social, economic, and political issues, the Saudi economy was in recession. The construction industry was one of the first and hardest hit sector. That is when I made another difficult decision in closing the company and returning home to Montreal, sharing my international experience developed further on social and professional levels. Upon my arrival here, I realized many things had changed during the past 25 years. The town of Bellefeuille became part of Saint-Jérôme municipality, with new zoning regulations were adopted, which puts a hold on any future development of the land. In Syria, all my family members spoke fluent Arabic and French. As I mentioned before, I studied English to attend the American University of Beirut, where I studied 17 hours a day to pass the English orientation program. Now, I am back. Sorry. Now I am back to square one, stuck to learn French, which I already started to facilitate my entry into the construction industry in Montreal. It is the first time in my life that I am not working. Some people call it retirement, but I never thought that I would never not be working. As a member of the Rotary, I would like to bring to your attention what I have learned and strongly believe. The upbringing of a child has an imprint on his or her development. I would suggest that the Rotary Club takes this into consideration. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself and to tell you my story. I look forward to being an active member of this wonderful organization, and I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you on a more personal level. Thank you. That's the story.
Thank you so much, Humam. And it is a very interesting, a very rich story. We appreciate your disclosing of your life and your values. If anyone has some questions, perhaps we can go to them, but maybe we can end the recording here, Heather.